Kamikatsu, working for God in a godless world. First impressions. So, yeah, it's on Crunchyroll. I just finished the first episode. It was it was wild. So this is actually a pretty unique isekai premise, which is basically our main protagonist, or protagonist. Why am I saying main protagonist? Our protagonist Yukito is the son of a cult leader, and you can tell he doesn't believe this bullshit. The cult was not what I was expecting, like, I don't know, fucking dark cloaks and blood sacrifices. Instead, it's a bunch of buff men and, like, what do they call Fidoshi? The fucking rope underwear, what the fuck it is called, I don't know. Uh, they kind of just, he's like in a fucking barrel, and they just chuck his ass into the sea. And the reason they're doing this, his dad is doing this, the followers are doing, he believes it's fucking shady. But the reason they throw Yukito into the sea in this barrel type thing is because supposedly he's supposed to be like reborn as the next leader or something of the cult. And motherfucker gets isekai, wakes up in this world, and of course he's expecting the isekai tropes, the magic, the adventurers guild type of thing. No, he watches. And he's found this. Oh my god, we have to talk about how he's found. Okay, so what happened was, let's just say he's been through a lot of traumatic things in his childhood, and this adds to the list. Really, as a girl finds him, and I don't know if she saves him or something, but she's reading a book which looks like a grimoire, and she's I don't think she really realized what she was doing. But she's trying to help him. She's a jerk in it. She's a red rocketing, if we're talking South Park terms. This poor man. I don't know how old he is. I'm assuming he's probably like, I'm ballparking somewhere in like maybe 18 at the oldest, or somewhere in his 20s. So I don't think he says. So yeah, he wakes up rightfully. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Anyway, she apologizes to him, and she, I guess, runs this local restaurant in this danky ass village in the middle of nowhere with her older sister, and that he can stay there and eat for free. I was like, okay, I mean that's a good deal, but not considering what happened. But then considering he was literally just thrown off a cliff and reincarnated, I mean. Something tells me that's not the most traumatic thing that's happened to him. It's just another add to the fucking bucket list of traumatic shit. Anyway, like, at least he didn't die that time. He's still gonna deal with trauma, but at least he's not dead. Anyway, so he wakes up in this world, and we find out that, he does, it's not like the regular shit, it is kind of like the farming village, like, it really is like that backwater village that they always start out in. But yeah, there's no concept of magic, there's no concept of religion. There is no God. He even asks, or he says something about God, and she actually asks, "What is that?" Like there's no concept of God here. But there is darkness afoot in this where the fuck country is, and there are these strange creatures which aptly describes them. They ugly motherfuckers. And they changed the art style for, like, they have like the background like the anime, it's all normal, and then like the creature itself. The only way I can describe this and how just vividly different and like not belongy it is there is they changed the art style. When I first saw it come on the screen, I thought, oh, are they switching to like a 3D render of the creature? And what it reminds me of more than like 3D, because when I paused, I looked at it, I'm like, that doesn't look 3D, but it looks 3D, like, but it doesn't. And it reminds me a lot of, like, have you ever seen someone sketch a picture? Like, there's a normal sketch of a picture, and then there's the people that use, like, a lot of charcoal and, like, a lot of blending of, like, dark lines and shit, and, like, they add a lot of shadows to it. That's kind of what it looks like. It looks very unnatural there, but, like, it looks cool. The creature itself is ugly as fuck. But, like, this style they use to present it, it's very, it does not belong there. It feels, the way they did it is not only cool, but, like, it definitely feels out of place wherever the fuck they are. Just in all the senses. Just the style itself, it does not belong here. And I was actually like, where the fuck did you come, motherfucker? You don't belong here. Like, I literally found myself saying that out loud to myself in my bedroom. I'm like, you know what the fuck are you? Oh, you ugly motherfucker. Okay. Strange creature is an apt description to call this thing, because that's just what they call it. And this guy pulls out like another book that kind of looks like the same as the girls. And I was like, oh, that must be like fucking grimoires or something. I'm like, no, apparently it's like how to escape these beasts and some basic first aid and shit. I don't know. And of course he's like, what the fuck kind of uses that? Our main character, as he assumes, oh, he's gonna like fight this thing with like a grimoire now. And he's literally like, I was like, what the fuck? What's the point of the book? Hurting ourselves trying to get away from the thing is embarrassing, bro. And, yeah. So there's that. And then, they go to the city to, like, buy a forbidden book. There's a little what the fuckness in this anime. They're looking for a naughty book. And they actually show like a picture of what's in the book, and I literally was like, what the fuck is that? It's like, I swear to God, it's like a bunch of text, and there's like this drawing. It's kind of like one of those ink drawings. And at the bottom it looks like some fucking goblins with swords and shit. And then there's a guy, and then there's like this thing on top of it, and it looks like he's punching the thing on top of it. I'm like, what the that does not look like a sex act. Is that what y'all looking for? And they're like, oh my god, it's so terrifying, it's so much more detailed than the books we have. And I'm just like, and the protagonist is also like, what the fuck? This is like some weird shit you find in a museum. Out on display. They're like, oh, display! Where the fuck are you from? And it's just, this show is just fucking weird. I'm sorry, my nose is running. I apologize. Let me get my nose off screen. Itch, itch, itch. So yeah, and then on their way there, we have our first taste. Well, I guess our second taste, our first taste with. I was gonna say the first taste of like unsettlingness, but then I remembered like her red rocketing, and then like there's a lot of unsettling things, but like a more of the culty that I was looking for is they're in the Capitol, and one of the guys, it's like him, a guy, and the girl that found him, that red rocket, her name's like Mill something, I don't fucking remember, and I think Roy's the name of the guy, the boy, that's with them, and he basically kind of was like, hey, like pulls him aside for a second, don't talk to anyone in Capitol. I'm sorry, don't talk to anyone in the Capitol. And he was like, you know, our protagonist is like, why? He's like, we're kind of despised. We do later find out by the end of the episode why. And, like, already, he came across, like, a public execution. And it's, they drink vows, and I was like, he's like, what is this? I'm like, oh, it must be, like, a public execution or some shit. And we find out that while there is no God, the Emperor teaches everyone everything, essentially. And basically, we find out that here, when you're told to die, you die. That's it. You die. And we kind of hear, the only reason we hear this is because we hear the people that they walk away from after, like, he watches these people kill themselves. Well, they're like on a platform, kind of like execution style, and they're handed like a glass or something, and they drink it. And I was like, oh, is it? Because I'd heard of like the olden days they would make you drink poison, so that, oh, it's like that thing is what they're doing. But no, it looks like they're doing it willingly. So already we can tell they're fucked in the head. And like the way they even draw the people that I think about in the Capitol is very shaded, very unnatural looking, very, something is not right in the way they are portrayed, in the way they are colored, in the way there's deep shading on their faces to the point you can't really see their facial expressions. Like up here is very dark, and then here like you can kind of see mouth or that kind of thing. And they're saying, I don't know why they just kill these people, these fucking deviants already. Like they're saying shit. You can tell there's some mob mentality here. There's something not right. And we find out later that the place that Yukito ended up is called the isolation camp, and essentially it's the people who are like considered the deviants, the ones that are afraid of death. That's the thing here. You're a deviant if you're afraid of death. If you don't kill yourself, you're told to kill yourself. So instead, they're basically waiting there to be killed. So instead of you either kill yourself or we'll do it for you, basically. And that's the fucked up thing. And I don't know if you've watched an anime called Reborn. Not Reborn, I'm sorry. ReZero. I apologize. ReZero. I've seen the first season of it. Where in that anime he gets isekai'd and he dies several times, and that's the whole thing of this show, is that he has his badass power, yes, but his badass power is he always comes back to life. However, that doesn't mean he doesn't fucking feel it. He fucking feels his death every time, so he has to watch himself die over and over, and people who he cares about wants to save over and over and over until it fucks with his head, which naturally fuck with your head. So it kind of reminds me of ReZero in that sense, because he does actually get killed again. And as he's dying, and as what happens is it's time for that girl and her sister to die, to forcefully be killed from the isolation camp. So they come and they drag him off, and Roy tries to fight them off, but of course he gets the shit kicked out of him. And so Yukito finds him. He wakes up in the morning. He's like, goes outside and sees his ass beat up and bruised on the fucking dirt road. And so he goes to go save them, and her sister is already hanging from a rope. She's gone. And they're like literally about to stab our main girl. I know what her fuck her name is. She has pink hair girl. Know what the fuck her name is. It sounds very rude. Like but anyway, like I honestly don't remember her name. It's like it's like Milu something. Milu something. And so she's about to get like stabbed with a sword, because they're like, hey, we don't have fucking time for this, just fucking kill her with a sword or whatever. He shows up, to save her, and he ends up getting stabbed, and then she ends up getting stabbed, trying to keep him from, more like a slash than a stab. So she's dead, and just before he dies, he has like this pendant that I didn't notice at first. Like, I noticed the necklace, but I didn't realize it was the same thing until later, where like before his dad chucks him in the ocean, he's wearing a necklace, a Mitama necklace. I don't know, there's like little fucking jade yin yang fucking things where it looks like one half of the yin yang. I describe things so well. So it's that necklace from the start. I didn't realize, like, I noticed the necklace, but it didn't dawn on me until later on when he gives it to her. And supposedly it's like a protective charm or something. I mean, I kind of worked, but kind of didn't really, if you think about it. Because, no, they've got fucking stabbed. They were dying. But he kind of says this prayer. And this thing lifts into the sky. And it's like some apocalyptic cool bullshit that happens, I'm not gonna lie. Like, some fallen angel fucker oh god, it was so cool. I'm not gonna lie, I watched that twice. But yeah, it rises into the sky, and like the sky opens up. And there's this, like, kind of giant ball of, like, I don't want to say fire, it's not quite right there. It's like this giant, it almost reminds me of, like, the sun. Not like a ball of fire. But this giant fucking molten looking thing. And this girl pops out of it. And then falls down to the earth in front of him. And she's like, oh, you called me, you could do, what the fuck happened to you? Who did this to you when I was away? And then she turns around and, like, she's this cute little girl. And there's, I love the way they brought out the fuckery in this girl. That sounds really weird and inappropriate. What I mean by this is like, this young girl falls to the ground, and we find out it's Mitama, his god, that his dad worship. It's that god, and she turns her head around after like looking at him and is like, oh fuck, what happened to you? And she goes from this adorable girl to this, like, again, one of those not right things. And just her head turns around very Exorcist-like. And it goes, the screen goes like this dark, swirling purple. And her eyes are like fucking around in her head. and she says cleanse, and then like these weird fucking, I want to say like, it was almost like waves of like ink, like an ink painting you'd find in like one of those old Japanese paintings, come out of fucking nowhere and sweep these fuckers away. And then she turns around like, oh, elephant chip, and I'm just like, there were people watching. Why are they not? Why are we not hearing screaming? Like, I know it got the soldiers and like this, and I'm assuming an important motherfucker. I don't know who the fuck this guy was. I don't think he exists no more though. I don't know where the fuck they sent them, but I'm pretty sure the depths of fucking hell in the ocean somewhere. I don't know. So yeah, and she fixes him up, and it looks like he fixes her up. Or they fix the girl up too, because she's also the girl that got stabbed, the pink hair girl, middle, whatever fuck her name is also, she's like, I'm alive. She's turning around, and then she turns around, and it's Mitama is kind of on Yukito's shoulders, like, he's like, who the fuck are you? And she's like, I'm Mitama, the one that's always been on your side. And then it goes to the ending song. So I just, like, it was a fucking trip. Fucking trip. I just, if any of that was like, what? Like, yeah. Just, that was the first episode, like I said. I think there's like 3 or 4 out now. But it's not what I was expecting, but I definitely think we are going to get that cultiness I was expecting. Not in the way I was expecting. But definitely, there's some fucked upness here. I can expect some comedy, because comedy is very out here. Very out there in the show right away. But it's more, so far it's more sexually focused gags than anything. So, yeah, be of age for that. And, like, I don't think they're actually going to show it. Like, I don't expect, like, an ecchi, soft porn hentai. I don't expect that. But I do expect, like, when one of the books she's reading, it's quite clearly there's some BDSM positioning and some rope tying in there. So that's about where we are, I think. So be aware of that. I'm sorry, I didn't think of that until just now. There was a lot of shit that happened, okay? You can't blame me for forgetting something else that happened, okay? This show is a fucking trip. And that's episode 1. I need to figure out what the fuck happens. Like, I want to know, like, what the fuck is going on. But I'm curious, is this generally, like, was he genuinely isekai to a world without God, or just a belief in God, rather than say, like God actually, like, are there actual gods there, or did she, like, somehow cross over from there, and there's no gods in this world, but, like, her now? Like, I don't know what's going on, so I'm very curious about what's going on. If that sounds up your alley, and you can handle all of that inappropriateness that happens here, I would say check it out. If you're not of age and cannot handle that stuff, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to miss this one until you can, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that is Kamikatsu. Episode 1 is very mind blowing. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was satisfying seeing her go full on, like, demon, like, full on fucking yokai mode. Like, I don't know, like, I was thinking, like, it reminded me of, like, the way they portray yokai in a lot of anime, like, when they go for, like, the scary, like, oh, like, fucking Yamabishi. Was that what the fucking thing is? Like, the ghost theater thing? I watched a couple episodes of that, went, nope, and then just ain't watching that again, fuck that, nope. I'm too much of a bitch, I can't. You're not gonna catch my ass watching that series. But, like, old folktales featuring, like, yokai and, like, paranormal shit, like, actually meant to unsettle you. Like, it reminded me a little bit of that, not specifically that show, but like that type of genre. Does that make sense? Where they actively use the art style and the telling, like, little body movements to scare the shit out of you. Like, a lot of movies do scare me, but, like, I could probably get through a Jason or a Freddy Krueger movie. But you will not catch my ass watching The Ring or The fucking Grudge. No, fuck that. That shit fucks me up good. That shit, like, the commercials alone, I was like, nope, we skipping that. Nah. I remember that shit kept coming on the TV. I was like, oh, please, God. La, 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 la. I can't hear you. I can't see you. I see nothing. Yeah, the serial killer shit doesn't really scare me. Compared to, like, I don't know what it is. It's like the way Japan does horror movies will fuck me up more than like we do in America here, because this, I think it's because we're so extra here. We're so focused on like the gore of it, where Japan is very focused on, at least from what I've seen, of what I've noticed on things that like creep me out from commercials that tend to be Japanese movies, is there's a lot of blood and gore and sex and like horror movies here in America, whereas in Japan, they are the masters of subtlety and just the way the body movements of the Grudge kid down the stairs, like that's what fucked me up. Not someone getting knifed in a horror movie. The body movements of him just going down the stairs. Like, I've seen the Exorcist movie. Did it creep me out a little bit? Yeah, but I would take that over the fucking Grudge. Okay? I can watch The Exorcist. I cannot watch The Grudge. You cannot pay me enough to. If you make me, I will punch you. No, I am not watching The Grudge. So, yeah, but like that's kind of what I like, is that's I do not know what it's called, but that specific unsettling body movements they give character. That using the atmosphere, the art style changes, the odd body twitching to like emphasize something's not right, and the color of the screen changing. Like this is fucking cool here. So yeah, that is as of this one, and then I don't know. So far, I'm very intrigued. So I'm definitely going to watch episode 2. I don't know. Like I said, I just finished the first episode, so I don't know what my take is on the show yet. But just from what I have seen from that first episode, I am intrigued. I'm not scared yet, but I am definitely intrigued. Like, I'm wondering, is it going to go down to that ReZero thing where, like, we're definitely going to hint into the darker side of something is seriously fucking wrong and it's going to fuck with him mentally? Or are we going to be, like, are they actually going to go down that route? Like, are they going to go into the horror, or are they going to be kind of sidetracked by, say, like, the sexual gags they're making? Because some shows can, like, pull that shit off and mix comedy and horror really well, or comedy and serious topics and serious moments really well. Like, Black Clover is like a gag anime, but they do have some really badass serious moments. And I don't know. So yeah, it's on Crunchyroll. I don't know what day new episodes come out, but yeah. So look for it on Crunchyroll if you can handle that, and if you are at an age where you can handle that, and your parents are okay with that, and your guardian, whoever the fuck takes care of you. Anyway, because like I said, there's like within the first episode, we definitely have some sexual mentions. Anyway, yeah, like, subscribe, check videos, and bye.